checking in on the Tide. Oops, no Bama, no problem. Here's what we do have: Tigers, Tigers, and Tigers. Oh my! Would Auburn stay perfect on homecoming?
That's the critical component.
Plus, it's Separation Saturday in the SEC East. Big matchups in Athens and Columbia. And would number 1 look like number 2? An upset brewing in Raleigh.
Probably what you were thinking.
So bang the cymbals, invite your friends. We're gonna hug it out. It's okay to act girly because we start right now.
Life in the fast lane, moving at the speed of life, and I can't slow down. Only got a gallon.
Campus of the University of Alabama. Live sports from Alabama's sports team. This is WVUA Sports.
I told you guys last week that I love fake field goals. You know what else I love? Fake punts. I like them even better. Here's Arkansas' Sam Irwin Hill. He's a punter, and he's an Aussie. Touchdown, Piggies. Was it enough against the Aggies? The full highlights coming up in just a moment. What a start to Sports Saturday. Welcome in, everybody. I'm BJ Millican. We're going to keep that train rolling on a Saturday where there was no Alabama game. I know it was tough to deal with. We start with Auburn. The Tigers hosting La Tech. This is fun. Cody Sokol's pass intercepted by the human freight train that is Montravius Adams. Rumble, 36 yards. That's going to set up a Tigers score. Later, it's 10-0 when Duke Williams, watch this, he makes us all go, oh, what a catch. Concentration on the snag. Watch it again. 18 yards, only 2 receptions for Duke, but this one counts for more. It's not quite what they needed against Georgia last year, but watch Quan Bray. Oh, the Hail Mary in the fourth quarter from Nick Marshall. Auburn wins going away 45-17.
That's the critical component each week to improve. You know, we don't want to peak yet. You see every year there's teams that peak, and then they start going like that. We still want to continue to go up. Obviously, we have a very tough game, you know, next week. We are at home, and so we just need to keep improving. We are 4-0, though, and so that's a good thing.
LSU next for the Tigers. Alabama's next opponent, Ole Miss, hosting Memphis in powder blue helmets. Dr. Bo looking good, going to work, getting medical. He finds Laquan Treadwell, 63 yards. Watch him stretch. Oh, check out this, though. The only reason I show you this next play, I've spotlighted the kicker. This is on a kickoff. A little rough action going on there. Look at this guy. That's the kicker. He gets ejected for throwing a punch. I love kickers, especially the guys that mix it up. Ole Miss goes on to the closer than expected 24-3 win. Here's the tale of the tape between Alabama and Ole Miss. These numbers are before Memphis, obviously. Pretty comparable all the way around. We'll hear from the Tide on the bye week coming up in just a bit. Arkansas and Texas A&M renewing an old Southwest Conference rivalry in Jerry World. Hey, the Hogs have a running game. Alex Collins right up the gut, 50 yards. They're not going to catch him. 131 yards for Alex. Hogs led by 2 touchdowns. It wouldn't be an A&M game, though, without Johnny Manziel. Look at there. They didn't need him here, though, because it's Kenny Hill leading the Aggies back. This one to Josh Reynolds, 59 yards, ties the score with 2 minutes to go in the fourth. We're going to overtime. Johnny can't believe it. Kenny Hill only needed 1 play. Malcolm Kennedy, touchdown. Arkansas had a 4th and 2, and believe it or not, they tried to run, and no, stuffed. The Aggies survive 35-28. LSU licking their wounds against New Mexico State. Not a good start right here. Anthony Jennings is going to be picked off. Cassius Corley is going to take that back home to the land of enchantment. Les Miles says, don't do that. Do this. Hand off to Terrence McGee. 11-yard touchdown run for him. Later, watch this. The defense goes off. It's a crazy interception off the back of the lineman's head. Ouch! Kendall Beckwith scores it. LSU wins big, 63-7. They've got Auburn next week. Here's an updated look at the undefeated teams left in that crazy West. It's going to be a fun October, everybody. Bama gets Ole Miss, Ole Miss and Arkansas in back-to-back road games coming up. Let's head to the SEC East. The SEC East. See what I did there? I'm making fun of the East. The Georgia Bulldogs couldn't afford a loss against Butch Jones and the Tennessee Vols in Athens, but it did not look good early. Vols hanging in, but the Dogs kick it up a notch. Todd Gurley, loose, You don't want him in the secondary. 51 yards, 1 of 2 touchdowns for him today. UT, though, didn't go away, down just 3, but they fumble in their own end zone. That is not recommended. Georgia recovers for the touchdown, but the Vols just would not go away. Justin Worley, Marquez North, 2 minutes left, 35-32. They could not recover the onside kick, and on 4th and 3, Gurley does what he does best. A monster day for him, 208 yards rushing. Georgia wins 35-32. South Carolina hosting Mizzou. That's a live chicken. The Tigers aren't chicken, though. Russell Hansborough with the shimmy shake, shimmy, and a shake, and a go, and then he's in the end zone. Touchdown. Carolina in trouble again, but hey, Mike Davis, he can do it too. Watch this guy. He's going to go around the right corner. He's going to score 17 yards for him. But in the 4th quarter, Missouri comes back on the strength of another Hansborough touchdown and finds a way to win 21-10. Spurrier and company, a tough blow for them. Vanderbilt visiting Kentucky in the but it's the SEC game of the week. Here's the game clincher coming up for the Wildcats in the 2nd quarter. The game clincher on a quarterback sneak. Yeah, that was exciting stuff in the 2nd quarter. An awe-inspiring 17-7 win for Kentucky. Here's a look at that crazy East. Apparently, no one wants to win the East. Missouri, your leader at 1-0, and Kentucky hanging in there for 2nd. Still much more to come on Sports Saturday, including a big-time scare for the defending champs. Could Florida State get out alive? Plus, at least one member of the Crimson Tide was not real happy with the off week. We'll explain and look ahead to Ole Miss after the break. Of the day, it's former Florida Gator quarterback Jacoby Brissett. Watch him. He plays for NC State now. Oh, my goodness. So much happening on this play. He's going down, right? Nope. He's throwing it. What? Nope. He's going to do this. Oh, he finally throws it. Touchdown. 8-yard strike to Jonathan Alston. Watch him again. Wow. NC State making a lot of noise. That put him up 24-7 against the Noles. More highlights in just a moment. I'm thinking Will Muschamp would probably like to have Jacoby back in Gainesville. He finishes with 359 yards passing today. We now turn to the Crimson Tide. This week, Alabama was able to rest up. The first of 2 bye weeks this season. A week after an impressive victory at home over Florida, the talk now turns to the Ole Miss Rebels. Next Saturday's game will be the Tide's first October road game against a top 10 team since 2006. Even though the bye week gives the Tide a chance to heal up, at least one player just wants to play.
I just really love playing football, so it's good to get the rest in for everybody, the guys that's banged up and sore.
There's always things that you can improve. There's always things that you do well on. You know, this being our bye week, we have a chance to do and focus on some of those things, and it's perfect timing.
There you go. And here's some game notes from that one, a big one in Oxford. Tide has not lost there since Eli Manning took them down in 2003. 10 consecutive wins for the Tide over the Rebels. 2:30 next Saturday, CTKO at 11 o'clock. You know, very quietly, the UAB Blazers are playing really well under first-year head coach Bill Clark. Their only loss so far in Starkville to Mississippi State. Today, they hosted FIU, and early on, it was going to be our favorite guy. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, Briscoe. Bouncy house in the background. Up top, J.J. Nelson, 40 yards. That's going to set up. Great catch there by Nelson. Look at him, getting up, fired up. Former Clay Chalkville Cougar DJ Vincent takes it into the end zone, looking good for the green and gold. That did not last, though, because Richard Leonard is ruining the fun. The bouncy house is happening, but he's saying, I'm hopping into the end zone. The Blazers fall apart and lose 34-20. Stillman opening up conference play against Kentucky State. The Tigers are going to strike first. It's Josh Strawn finding Dondre Purnell over the middle. He stretches, scores. Nice play. Stillman rolling. First by air, now by land. Javante Thurman takes the handoff off the zone read. He is in the end zone. Kentucky State manages to get on the board with a couple of field goals, but touchdowns are better than field goals, aren't they? Strawn finds Devontae Gilmore. Nice catch. Stillman wins 34-20. West Alabama in action against Concordia College. Kyle Caldwell's calling his own number. That's 4, but he goes in for 6. 29 yards for the score, 2 on the ground for him. We'll show you that second one here in a second. Defense also getting after it. Watch Dwight Herlong with the pressure and sack. Play loses 11. Later, as we said, here's Caldwell doing it again. 18 yards. Get out of the way, ref. West Alabama wins big, 60-7. Here's a look at the local scoreboard. Big wins for South Alabama, Jack State, and North Alabama. Tough losses for Troy, who's 0-5, by the way. That's rough. And Samford. You know, Florida State hasn't lost a game since Hueytown's Jameis Winston began taking snaps for the Noles. But Jameis has never played in Raleigh against North Carolina State, a place where FSU has dropped 5 of the last 7. And boy, were they in trouble today. Winston returning for his 1-game suspension, down 17 at one point. But Jameis bringing the Noles back, finds Christian Green. Nice catch, gets right inside the pylon, 22 yards. The defense could not find stops. State back up 10, but Jameis all day finds Bobo Wilson. Bobo, nice name, nice result. FSU within 3. Here's the clincher. Winston finds Rashad Green. 4 touchdown passes for Jameis. The Noles survive 56-41. Pac-12 action. Stanford on the road at Washington. Check out the determination on this play. Hogan finds Ty Montgomery. He will not be denied. He is in. Cardinal touchdown. But Chris Peterson's Huskies tied this one at 13. We are late. Gus Johnson alert, everybody. Kevin Hogan with the slowest bootleg ever. Is he ever going to score? He does. Stanford wins 20-13. Big time day in college football. When we return on Sports Saturday, it was a very special day for Alabama athletics. Remembering late tide swimmer John Servati in a way that he would certainly have approved of. That story is after the break. Stay with us. Retaining wall during a tornado. Today, his Alabama teammates gave back, remembering his sacrifice. Even after his death, Servati's message is still with those he was closest to.
We are doing it in memory of one of our teammates who passed away last spring, John Servati. And the way we saw it is John was just always a servant in his life, so we wanted to do something to honor his memory, and we thought serving other people would be the best thing to do that.
I think the girls team was really kind of excited to actually get in and do handiwork, I guess. All of us had a relationship with John, including the girls, and I mean, John was one of my better friends, and I think everybody was happy to help.
It's a great story. That's all the time we have for tonight. Good night.